here we are. We are here in the Museum of Sanauja in Barcelona, which was presented last year on the Expo. I'm here with Juanjo. Juanjo is one of the two partners of Pinball, and he is, let's say, the technician behind the development of this amazing kit. Hello, Juanjo. Hello, and he's going to show you through the installation of this amazing kit. But before that, let me just show you once more where we are. This is heaven, heaven on earth. Okay, just to understand, we are going to put this in a beautiful James Bond premium edition, and it's going to look even better than it looks. Okay, so Juanjo, you can go on. Puedes empezar. Most important thing, of course, is to have the machine turned off, obviously. And so first of all, obviously open the door. We need to remove the back glass. First thing we need to remove is the cable we're going to use. This cable is very important. You need to take it away with very carefully by pressing the two sides of it, and then it goes off really simply. But you need to make sure that you're really pressing this in a nice way, because if you pull from it, you might break the connections. All right. And then there is the second one here. Also, the one is easier, it's smaller, and that's all. We remove this white piece from the strap, take it away, and for now we just leave it aside. Okay, we will see later what we use. This is the speakers connection, the audio connection for the speakers, and again we have to remove it. Fine. Once removed, we have it aside, and we are just, let's say, freeing the original panel from its cables. And then we have again another cable here. Let's go around to see it better. Okay, this is the ground. Okay, that needs to also be removed. It's very important that below the screen you put something to protect it, not to crash it with the cabinet. And once protected, now it's time to remove the screws that we need to remove, which basically is those two ones that have the tensors of the panel. So we are removing now the two screws that fix the original panel to the back box. It's just two screws, one on each side, and it's important to say that these are the only two screws that you need to keep. Actually, I mean, I said before you need to keep screws, but actually you only need to keep those two, because the new panel is going to have all the screws that you need in terms of speakers, tensors, or whatever. So, but these two screws you need to keep, because the fixing is the same. So we take the two screws away, keep them aside, well, and then all the panel comes off. And as the cables were removed before, we just keep this panel. That's great. You can use this panel for whatever. If you want to keep it, save it, sell it, put it on a virtual pinball machine. So we're going to do the unboxing process of the product. Basically, take this seal, and it's a very simple box with protection. You will see, very well protected. And inside, again, well protected. We got all the panel, which comes out in one single piece. So we're just taking the panel out of the box, and we take the black plastic, and this is the complete panel. Of course, the screen has still a film of protection, and as you can see, it comes all in one piece. And if you turn it around, everything is soldered, connected. You will see, don't have to do much. On the one hand, obviously, you have the Pioneer speakers here on both sides, right and left. Thinner, of course, because the screen is bigger and you have less space, but at the same time they look more fancy in a way. Okay, great. As you can see, we are filming this in a museum full of machines, and probably you will hear lots of noises, but it gives this pinball touch, which is nice. And then, yeah, this is the controller of the LEDs for the speakers. This is of course, the screen with its board, a little board controlling the screen. And then there's a cable that goes to the power supply of the back box of the machine, and the other cable here goes up also on one of the boards of the back box. And this is the connector for the speakers. So as you can see, three connectors, very easy. One for the speakers, one for the screen, one for the LEDs. So we just place the two panels one on top of the other, so you can see perfectly the differences on the layout and on the size of the screen. Below is the original one. Of course, we will remove this plaque and we will put it up. So we have the same stickers. Everything can be placed on the one on top, but here, as you can see, the display it's clearly bigger. As I said, 15.6 to 18.5, plus the speakers, and inside they have these plastics that will illuminate with the LEDs later on. but before we install it, we wanted you to show you the physically how it looks different. And we're gonna unscrew it, very easy. And we're gonna keep it aside, and later we're gonna screw it again into the new panel. Unfortunately, in the new panel, there is no place for this sticker. You can remove it and place it somewhere else, but not on the new panel. But turn around the panel, and we are going to unscrew this lock, because the lock we're going to use. The only thing we're going to replace is one of the pieces of the lock, and now with another. Okay, that's it. So in the Screen Excel kit, what you need to do is use the same lock, but we are going to replace this old piece, which was straight, with this one that has an L form in order to grab from longer, let's say. Okay, so Juanjo, now he's going to rebuild the new lock, just taking the different pieces. You place it in the hole of the new kit, which of course has been shifted from the middle into one of the sides of the panel. Okay, we need to tighten this, of course. This is very important to make it not to be loose. And now, as I said, we put aside the original one, and with the same screw and with a new piece that grabs from a longer distance, now we screw it straight into the panel. That's all we need to do. It's extremely so we are now starting to remove these two screws, because we are going to place the magnet here. The magnet is one of the main holders of the new kit. The magnet goes into the left part of the panel, and the old lock with the new piece is going to be on the right. And now it's time to place the magnet. This is the magnet, this piece that comes included with the kit, and with also special little bit longer screws that you will also find on the package. So we put it here. One is for the famous tensor. So this is it with the two screws. The one behind is for the tensor, and the second one is just to fix the magnet completely. And this is the way it looks when you have screwed finally, again with the two screws that come with the panel. So the next phase is we have brought the kit, the panel, the Screen Excel, and we have placed it using, of course, the same holes that hold and fix the panel into the back box. Okay, 1 and 2. That's it. Now the panel is fixed into the back box, the new one. Now we're gonna go for the different connections. First one, we need the ground cable that we took away. We're going to put it. So we put the ground cable into that corner one, using the washers and using the screw. So once we have fixed the ground cable, as you can see, we also put a little sticker with GND, so to make clear that the cable has to go there. Okay, we're gonna go for the next phases of the connections. Now, very important is that we are going to take these two cables here. One is going to be used and the other one is not. The one that's going to be used is this one, obviously, and the other one, the little one, that goes up to the board here. Okay, you need to take it out, and there's two options here. You can just leave it right there and keep it together with the other one inside the machine, or you can just remove it and put it aside. It's up to you, but important is that one is not going to be used. The one that is going to be used is the one that comes out from the board here, all around, very long cable that we have placed, and it's going to be in the same connector that was the other one that we just removed in the board. Okay, and of course what we're going to do is we're going to put the cable all through the different holders to have it nice and tidy. Okay, now next we are going to connect the speaker cable, same as we did before, but now we're connecting it. Put it right there, easy. And now we go to a very, very important part. As I said, these two cables, one is not used anymore, the little one, and the one we're going to use is this one. Very important thing is when you remove it, we have said before, we need to press on the sides of this cable, and when we insert it, we need to make sure that we are putting it in this position, not in the other one. This is the right position to be placed, very important, okay? So you just put it inside, makes a little click, and that's all. And the cable that we don't use, we just put here and we leave it aside. But as I said, we can remove it and take it away, or we can just leave it in here, the one we don't use. And basically that's all. We got the speakers, we got the screen down here, we got the ground cable there, and now one cable is left, which is the one that goes to, let's say, power the LED strips on the speakers. And we're going to place it on that connector right there. This little one with 3 pins, that's the one it's going to go. So I'm going to put it in. That's it. So now we have LEDs, ground, screen 1, screen 2, and speakers. And up there, the only thing we did is remove the original cable and replace it by the new one. That's all we have to do in terms of connections. Okay. We are going to put the tensors on these screws right here, using the screws that come with a new panel. You can see now the screws are well placed, both of them. Tensing, we have removed the protection below because now the panel is held. And that's it. We're going to close the panel. You can see a spectacular screen. And we are trying that the lock is really pulling from behind. You can see it better here, that it completely holds. Very important is, in order to download the application that controls the LED strips on the speakers, inside the panel, inside the kit, on this LED controller, you will see here a QR code that you need to use in order to download the application that controls the LEDs. Okay, so now we are putting back the back glass on the back box. Great, we can now finally close the panel. We try the lock. As you can see, it holds very, very strongly. The magnet on this side, the lock on the other side. Okay, and also another important part is that using the same original screws, we are going to screw again the pinball plate or plate back to the machine with its back glass, and you can see how nice it looks. Great. So here we go. Let's start the machine. This is, of course, the last part of it. You can see the LEDs of the speakers shining, and of course there's a predefined pattern here, but you can change that. It can be moving according to the music and the sound of the machine, or you can have your own patterns defined. We will show you later on the application how this works. But here we go. As you can see, the screen is clearly way bigger than the original one. So in order to set the maximum brightness of the screen, of course, we have opened the coin door. We have entered the settings menu. You go to adjustments, you go to SPI, and you go back to setting number 94, setting 94. And the trick here is that it's on 7, which is the maximum out of the Stern factory, but this screen has the inverted brightness. So in order to have the maximum brightness, you need to bring it down to 2, which is the lowest. Okay, install it, and then go back, and as you can see here now, the screen is way brighter than before. But again,
What is it?